Hi everyone. I know it's been a while since I last recorded and uploaded a video, and while I don't feel I need to apologise for that because of course I have my reasons, maybe I'll give you a quick explanation as to why that is. I mean, the long and short of it is I've just been so tired. Like, this year has been crazy, and the back end of it has been, I guess, at its craziest. So I've just been exhausted. I've not had the time or the energy to even consider sitting down or walking around as I am today to say anything. And also, I haven't really had the time and space to come up with anything to think about, to talk about anyways. So I figured there's just no point. And by the way, I'm recording this on December the 26th and it's absolutely freezing. The floor seems to be covered in an incredibly thin, an incredibly slippery layer of ice. So if I take a tumble, you'll know exactly why that is. And also, I've got gloves, but I can't wear them and operate my camera or my phone simultaneously, so I'm gonna have to do a lot of switching of hands in pockets to warm up my poor little mitts. So anyway, let's plow on, because there is something I would quite like to discuss in today's video. So I figured that given this time of year, it's always about sort of looking back and looking forwards, reviewing the year that's been and looking ahead to what your hopes and dreams are for the future. Let's give that a whirl. So I suppose top 5 trans experiences of 2025. I think number 1 is absolutely making the decision to change my name. I think I've talked about this in another video, but that decision has been a bit of a game changer in terms of helping people gender me correctly. And also, there's something about the nature of taking on a name that's much more obviously feminine. So that's been really great. And seeing my name on my work email, in official or semi-official documents, is really, really validating. And I am looking forward. One of the things that I will do very, very early in next year is make that completely formalized with my passport and my Polish ID documents bearing those names. I've not been able to afford to do that yet, so that's my plan for January. So that's without doubt my number 1. Number 2, I'm pretty happy with the changes as they've been physically so far. I'll do a quick side-by-side comparison with me now versus me about 12 months ago. It feels like 12 years, that's for sure. And I think I'm just much more comfortable as myself. I think I'm much more, I don't know, I'm just getting into my groove. I feel like being myself is less of a spectacle, less of a, bombarded with messages. It's less of a thing. People are used to me where I go, and more importantly, I'm used to me as well. I don't see this as anything kind of novel. I mean, it's losing its excitement, which I see as a good thing, to be honest. So that's really good. And the third thing is the little things. Like, as you can see, I got my ears pierced this year, and I'm really loving experimenting with like different types and styles of earrings. Yesterday Carolina bought me kind of a box of her old jewelry from years ago that she no longer uses, so I was having fun kind of experimenting with those, and I've picked these up from that collection. I think sometimes I do feel like I've missed out on that teenage girl kind of period where you get to just play and have fun with things like makeup and jewelry and clothes and style and your image, and everything feels so important because, I'm a professional. I need to go to work and look presentable. I'm a grown adult, so it's certainly not socially acceptable for me to be walking around bearing a lot of skin and so forth. And it's not like I'd want to do that anyway because it's so cold right now. I guess you can see my cheeks are super red, and that is not a consequence of me overdoing it with blush either. And you know, on that front as well, there's makeup I've been learning to play around with. I've got a little bit of lipstick on today, and it's just fun. It's just fun. I'm enjoying these things, and not because I'm feeling necessarily a lot of pressure to use them, but just because it's fun. Jesus. I don't know why that cop bibbed at me. I assume it was to warn me not to step out in front of him because he was skidding. That road is not safe. Anyway, so what am I up to? That's number 3. I guess number 4, I just touched on it. It's the normalization of this. It's the normalization, absolutely. It's being able to apply for jobs as myself. It's the thought of just stepping into a world where this is my day-to-day reality. And that was always my dream. I talked about this in a video. And I mean, this list isn't ordered. It's basically as they come into my head. More than anything else, there's no sort of hierarchy of importance here whatsoever. But I think that normalization of things, it's the thing that I've really been looking forward to, and I feel that that's something I'm approaching. And whether that means my life is normalized as someone who's visibly trans, well, that's fine. You know, I don't have any kind of problems with being seen and recognized as trans, and I never have. And I suppose the 5th, and I guess arbitrarily final thing on my list, I couldn't talk about this without also highlighting the people around me and the people in my life. And I talk about Carolina a lot, and I absolutely rely on her support, as any partner relies on that for support and, you know, all of the things that a partnership brings. And I hope that she feels the same about what I contribute to the relationship as well. It's certainly not one directional. My parents have been increasingly understanding. I think that I've taken time to have conversations with especially my dad. I think that's helped. And I'm quite proud of the way that I communicated my name change to them as well. I can, if you're curious, pop a link to the communication. I basically sent it as a text document rather than to have it as a call, because I had a suspicion there might be some emotional responses to that, and so I wanted to make it clear that was okay, basically, and to give them space to process that. And yeah, so I mean, it's the people at work. It's, oh goodness, I had a wonderful experience. As I said, I've been applying for jobs, and I've got a job lined up for the summer, which is really, really exciting. I'm so looking forward to that. It's definitely one of my most hoped for things for 2026 is improving my work situation. And they basically initiated a conversation to make sure that they could accommodate me, that they would accommodate me adequately. And it was just an amazing, amazing, amazing thing. I'm so grateful to them. And I was, funnily enough, on the fence about whether or not I would accept their job offer, you know, assuming that they were to give me one. And as a result of that conversation, I was like, well, I can't reject that company. I mean, the hours and the pay, no, actually the pay is amazing. The hours aren't perfect, but given the quality of this organization, I am absolutely impressed with them, and I accepted their email offer within minutes. So that was really good. So I mean, it's not even the people, my point is, it's not even the people who know me that I appreciate. It's people who have absolutely no need to offer that level of understanding and support. And so if and when that happens, especially in places like the UK, where these things are not they shouldn't be taken for granted, I appreciate it all the more. So those are my 5 things, and I hope that you can hear those things and thoroughly appreciate that, like, there's been some awful things that have happened this year. It's been an exhausting year. It's been, on balance, a pretty horrifying year for so many of us. But if I drill down to some of the more personal aspects of this year of 2025, I have to say, there's a lot to celebrate, and I do want to champion positivity because I think that's important. So what am I most hoped for? What do I most hope for in 2026? Well, this time I am going to try to organize them, but walking up the slope's probably not the best idea because everything's really super icy. But maybe I'm going to try and put these in some kind of order from most to least likely. So I think, first of all, look at this place, it's so cozy. I'm sure they serve some delicious sausages there. Well, I think, first of all, and I guess simply, I hope that the people around me will continue to be decent and understanding, and I will try to be understanding towards others. I mean, I always tried to put myself in the shoes of other people, including those who are maybe less than understanding towards trans people. I know that's hard, and sometimes I'm giving people more benefit of the doubt than perhaps they deserve, but I think it's only reasonable. That wasn't born in a vacuum. There's stuff going on there that goes outside of my own personal experience, and so I'm going to try to commit to continuing to be understanding as much as I can, and as hard as that is. Second of all, I hope that I will continue to see more changes physically. I mean, that's not a guarantee, of course, but I want to get more laser for my face. I still get too much hair on my lips and chin for my liking, so I'd like to eradicate that, but that's not going to be something I can do until probably after the summer. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, the other changes, I don't know. It's kind of like we'll see how it goes. I mean, I'll still go to yoga, I'll still eat well, I'll still try to sleep as well as I can, as hard as that is. So that's the second one. The third one, bearing in mind we're going into maybe less likely things, is I thought out work, because I mean, as if you've been following my channel, as you know, my work has been a major source of unhappiness for me, and it's probably going to mean that I'll have to seriously consider leaving my current place of work, which again is an incredibly upsetting notion. That place, it has and continues to be a source of support and positive, well, I can't say positivity, I'm thinking about leaving, but the people there are consistently amazing, and it's the organization itself that I have a contention with, and I don't think a lot of people quite understand how that can be, but it is what it is. So yeah, that's something. And as I say, I've got this summer job lined up, but we'll see how everything else pans out. I don't want to leave where I work, and I know a lot of the people who watch this video work in that same place, but if you do, you know what I mean. If you're watching and you work in the same place I do, I love you, but I mean, you need to be thinking about this as well, really. Anyway, it's not you. My point is, it's certainly not you. It's absolutely not you. It's bigger than all of us. Anyway, I think that's opaque enough for me to get away with. What's next? So I've talked about work. Okay, so I mean, we're going to get into more fanciful stuff now, but I really hope for a period of at least stability politically. That was my one wish for 2025. I mean, 2024 was amazing. It was the year when I started transitioning, but oh my goodness, it was so disruptive. I mean, you know, transitioning, it's a pretty major undertaking, and it shook so much of myself to my core. And I just wanted a year where I could just kind of acclimatize, where I could just normalize things. And, you know, as I say, I've kind of done that to a certain extent, but it's been in a context which has been where literally everything outside of my control has been on fire. Literally everything. There is not an area outside of my direct zone of influence which has been satisfactory. Like, everything has been awful. Everything, which is why I'm so tired, because it's like work's been awful, the political like infrastructure in every country has been awful, there's been some health issues in my family. It's just an ongoing clusterfuck of almost biblical proportions. And, you know, I'm not like narcissistic enough to think, well, God, it's because of me. But it's like, Jesus, sometimes it's hard not to kind of think, well, what more can the universe throw at me personally? But it's fine. As with this year, stability would be enough. You know, no more attempts at trying to actively remove the rights of people. No more sliding inexorably towards the right. No more otherwise centrist governments taking on far right ideas and policies. That would be good. Just be neutral. I don't necessarily care. If you're positive, that would be great, but neutrality would be fantastic at this stage. Again, outright hostility would be bad, and that's kind of where we're heading, so that's not great. You know, saber rattling, every government investing in their war machine. I mean, it's like we haven't learned anything from like the escalations prior to World War I and II. It's like, what are we thinking about here? It's crazy, but that's where we are. So if I can have just one more year before World War III sparks up and the world decides to annihilate itself, just one more year where I can enjoy living, that would be great. But I think that's an impossibility. And I guess the last thing is, I wish the absolute worst for certain leaders around the world. Again, if you know, you know. I hope that every meal they have is unsatisfying. I hope that every relationship they have is unfulfilling. I hope that every time they walk on a carpet barefoot, they step on a Lego. All of those things, I think it's bad. But I try not to worry about that too much, even though that's like asking a fish not to swim. So anyway, that's probably enough rambling from me for today. Thanks very much for listening. I hope that you've all had a great 2025, and I'd love to hear what your top 5 2025 experiences have been, regardless of how you decide to define that. I'd love to hear about what your hopes are for next year. Do you have any New Year's resolutions? I don't tend to make those because I'm terrible at keeping them. And it's just another stick to beat myself with when I fail at another one. But regardless, I'd love to hear how things have been for you. I'd love to hear what your hopes are, what your dreams are for next year, be they realistic or not. And I can't promise that I'll be around more regularly next year. I can make this video today because I've got a little bit of space and I'm not so tired, having a few days of rest. We'll see. I would love to hear from you all though. So take care, take it easy, and I'll see you all very soon. Goodbye.